welcome to my channel, Magickly Bella. This is my first video and I wanted to do a get to know me video in this first video so that you could all get a better sense of who I am, what my interests are and what you might expect from this channel and what my interests are going to be that I'm going to talk about. So let's get into the video and have fun. Have some questions prepared which I found online, which I thought were quite fun and interesting and which say a lot about me and which say a lot about my personality, my interests and stuff like that. So let's get into it. I will look down my phone because I have ADHD, so sometimes I forgot what I wanted to say and then my answer is not as good. So I wrote down some things before already so that it's like a nicer answer and then it's more cohesive so that you will actually understand where I'm going with what I'm saying and things like that. Okay, so the first question I thought was just interesting because there's so many people here on YouTube which also do videos in English and not all of them are from English speaking countries like I am, because the first question is where are you born or where did you grow up? And I was born in Germany and I grew up in Germany, so my first native language is German, but I also speak very well English because I learned it quite young. When I was like 4, I started to learn English. And then I also thought this was gets us into the next question, which I thought was very nice because it's about what is your favorite fairy tale. And I don't know if everyone knows that, but like quite famous collection of fairy tales is from Germany, from the Brothers Grimm, which is actually really close to where I live, where they used to live, so I know a lot about that. And also my parents and my grandparents would read to me a lot of the classic tales which they collected, such as like Snow White and Sleeping Beauty and like Cinderella and some other ones which are maybe more German than others, like Rapunzel. But yeah, that's like also one of my favorite things is also to read fairy tales from other countries. From like Scandinavia or like just generally all over the world, because I also had that book as a child from like other countries, so that was really interesting. Then we have the third question is what do you love about your favorite TV show? So my favorite TV show is a Norwegian teenage drama kind of show called Skam, and it's become quite popular on the internet and has also had quite a lot of remakes. And the favorite thing about this show is that I think it's very authentic. All the actors are like kind of the same age as their characters, so none of that like 30-year-olds playing 16-year-olds. So I found that was really cool, but also it has really nice storylines, not too much drama, and it has like really nice and a really nice and cute representation of like LGBT people and like with mental health and religion and feminism. So I thought it's just a great show. You should all watch it. If you want, I can also link it in the description. Then you can just check it out for yourself. How many countries have you been to? I've been to, I think, 6 countries. I had to count before because I wasn't sure. A lot of them are in Europe because, you know, I live in Europe, so it's easy to travel to. Like, of course, I've been to the like several things also in Germany, but that also kind of counts then. And then I've been to the Netherlands, to the UK, to France, to Italy, Austria. So yes. Would you ever consider living abroad? Yes, I would, because I have. I went to boarding school in the UK, in the north of England, and then I went for university. I also studied in the Netherlands, so I already kind of lived abroad, if you can say that. But yeah, I would also like to live somewhere maybe also, or do something or work somewhere which is not in Europe, but we'll see. I'm really like open to that. So have you ever read any of the Harry Potter, Hunger Games or Twilight series? I love books, if you cannot tell by this background, which I love. So yes, I have read all of 3 of them, but I have to say Harry Potter is my favorite. Again, if you cannot tell by the massive Hagrid picture in the background, the cauldron. But I have to say at this point, because this video is in 2020, the whole controversy with J.K. Rowling, I do not agree with her because that is not some nice things that she said. And I support the LGBT community, I'm part of it, and I support all trans people, and it's just not nice what she said. And you should consider what you say on the internet in real life and everything. So that was not really good of her. Um, what is the most boring movie you've watched? Which I think is a very interesting question. Because most movies I watch, I actually watch because I'm like, yeah, this sounds so interesting or something like that. And this movie I actually didn't want to watch, but I had to because we went there with my school in the UK, and it's The Life of Pi. Even though it's quite action packed in some sequences, I thought it was really boring, and I fell asleep at some points from the movie because it was just not entertaining and stimulating for my brain or something. I don't know. So yeah, and movie theaters are so nice and cozy, so I just fell asleep. I also thought this was another quite intriguing question, which is what is under your bed? And technically, there's nothing under my bed, like a carpet, but I didn't store anything under my bed. And again, that can also, as a child, I thought, I don't know, but probably many children think that. I thought something lived under my bed and it would come out at night. So, you know. Um, then what books are you reading at the moment? Um, I don't know. I'm reading Utopia for Realists by, what is his name? I wrote it down. Rutger Bregman. And I also wrote down what it says in the description of the book. Okay, it says it offers a critical proposal that it claims is a practical approach to reconstructing modern society to promote a more productive and equitable life based on the 3 core ideas: a universal basic income, paid to everybody, a short working week of 15 hours, and open borders worldwide with the free movement of citizens between all states. And I have to say, I really agree with like so many things that he says with his core points. And as someone who's from Germany, I can enjoy certain benefits already of things that were like thought of as radical in the past. So I have to say, I think we can always progress as a society or as a world. So I think he gives very good ideas. And then another one is, which I'm reading, is a by a German like influencer kind of type of person, and she's called Daria on Instagram, and it's called Starkes Weiches Herz. So it's like strong but kind, or soft heart. And it's really nice. It's about so many things in that book, but it's really great. So if you can read German or find it translated, or if there's a translated version, you should read it. It's really cute. It's really good, and it just has so much to say, and I love it. And of course, because it's October, I'm rereading Harry Potter. So at the moment, I'm still on the first book. I also sometimes listen to it as an audiobook because I love listening to audiobooks, and I love the one from Stephen Fry in English or the one by Rufus Beck in German. So that's pretty cool. What is the first concert you ever attended? It's by the Icelandic band, I think, of Monsters and Men. And I went there in like 2014, 2015, and it was so nice, and I just love their music. It's kind of folky, like a bit alternative maybe. I don't know what like their genre is, but they use a lot of acoustic guitars, and they were also with their song, I think Little Talks it's called, was in the #1 like a few years ago, so in the charts. So yes. Now something also which I'm really interested in is art. Um, what piece of art did you see that you've never forgotten? And I've studied art or part of my studies was arts on art history, and I've seen a lot of real art in real life, like in museums. But I've also, of course, we saw a lot of them online or like in books. So there was this one which sadly I did not see in real life, which is called Untitled, and then parentheses Portrait of Ross in L.A. And by this artist, he's called Felix Gonzalez Torres, and it's like this massive pile of like candy or wrap confections, and it's literally like this kind of supposed to be the ideal weight of like average body of an adult male, which is like 1.75 pounds. I'm actually not sure what it's in kilogram, but it's, you know, like a normal adult male weight as and it's like an interactive piece, so it has to be renewed with every like time it's being constructed, because the museum goers are allowed to take a piece with them, which has a meaning that you take it and you eat it and then it's gone, and also that the weight decreases, because it's like supposed to show that the progression of Felix Gonzalez Torres's life partner, who had then got infected with HIV, and then of course his body weight was rapidly decreasing, and so it's to show someone who has HIV in the 80s and 90s and slowly fading away. So okay, so another question is, do you speak any different languages? Yes, I speak German and English. I also learn a little bit of French, but I'm really bad at it. I have to say, I understand it well, but I can't speak it. It's a very German accent. I'm learning a little bit of Dutch, of course, because I lived in the Netherlands. So I can understand it. I can read it also because of its similarity to German. I'm also learning Norwegian and German Sign Language. Norwegian I've been learning since like I think 2.5 to 3 years ago. So I'm getting okay at it. And German Sign Language I started during the Corona lockdown pandemic thing that's going on in this beautiful year of 2020. So if anyone, once I upload it and anyone and watches it in the future, that's what we went through. So I did that. So, what is your favorite movie? That's really hard. I studied literally film with art, and so I love films. And I've watched so many films in my life already. I started watching films probably when I was like 4, like Disney movies and stuff. So that's hard question. Probably have one favorite movie per genre, which never changes, and then another favorite movie changes like depending on in what mood I am, and also if there's a new movie which then is better in my opinion. So it's really hard, but I have to say Harry Potter is always my favorite movie most of the time. It just, especially the third one, Prisoner of Azkaban, I just love that movie. It's so great. So many different types of ways that it's great. Maybe I will make a video about that at some point because I love Harry Potter. So then yeah, wait. Yeah. Do you have any more pets, or do you have any pets? Yes, me and my sister have a tortoise. Also, I have a sister. So, you know that fact about me. We have a tortoise. It's a Greek land tortoise. We've had it for like 15 years, I think. And it's going to be at least 100, and we're going to win with 10. So, it's going to outlive us, probably. Do you eat meat? No, I don't eat meat. Since January 2019, I've been a vegetarian. And yeah, like because in Germany, a lot of people eat a lot of meat and like deli meat and like stuff on like breads. And I have to say, I used to like it as a child, and then I knew that it was from an animal, but I still ate it, but it wasn't as delicious as when I didn't know. So that was kind of the progression. And yeah, so I might also make some cooking videos because I love cooking, especially since I started becoming a vegetarian. I even started to be more interested in, because you have to be a bit more creative, even though there's lots of mock meats and stuff, but it's still fun. And then, are you religious? I'm not religious anymore. I was baptized Catholic. I went to Holy First Communion and to like the second one, which I forgot what it's called in English, where you're basically like 16 and you're supposed to reaffirm your faith, but that didn't help apparently. So I went also to Catholic girls' school, so for like a few years, and I'm just not a fan of the Catholic Church. So I'm sorry if this is a bad thing to say in a video, but it's true. If you could live anywhere in the world, I would probably live. I still like Germany, and I would live in Germany, but I also might live in Scandinavia. Or if USA would be a better country to live in, I would live in the Pacific Northwest, like in Seattle or Portland, Oregon or something. That would be cool, but sadly, I want to have free healthcare and not get shot at or something. So, you know, And then one of my last questions is, what is your favorite season? Which I thought was a nice question to include because it's autumn right now. It's October, which is my favorite month. And so my favorite season is autumn because it's a great month. You have all the great movies. I love Gilmore Girls. I love Halloween. My birthday is in autumn. My mother's birthday is also in autumn. And I just love it. And I just love the change of colors and the air and just how it's getting crisp. I love pumpkins. I love apples. And yeah, so that's my first video about myself. I hope you enjoyed it.